Welcome to another episode of the INH show where we talk about geek culture, news, and lifestyle.
Yes, we're back with another episode, and do we need to address it? I don't think we do.
We should be doing like this, right?
So yes, it's a big day, isn't it? But
it is.
we want to talk about the real, meaningful, important stuff. Today we're talking about the Deadpool movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Wow, there you have it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so you highly recommend it, or you recommend it? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Okay, so I'll recommend it a lot because it is an over-the-top comedy. With a lot of over-the-top action and a lot of top violence, right? It is what you expect it to be from a Deadpool character. For people who haven't watched it before, I dare say that if you're not into blood and gore and stuff like that, you might not enjoy it, but I think it's funny enough that in my view, I think everyone would enjoy it really well. That's it. That's how I would summarize it.
I will agree with that more or less. I recommend the movie. If you're watching this show, you will enjoy this movie.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I would readily recommend it to certain people because as you said, yeah, it's violent. It's rather vulgar at times.
Yes.
Yes. But it is what you'd expect from a movie about a character who kills and who's
right.
It's fitting for the character.
It is, and look, I think just sort of sidestep is still about Deadpool, but the marketing leading up to the actual release date was really smart, really cool, and I also do think it's the fact that it's the character that they can play around with so much, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, the billboard where it has the Deadpool, which is like the skull, the poo, and then the L on it, all that sort of stuff. You can literally do all sorts of stuff like that, because it's, even with the film...
even leading up to that, they had the messages, like they had the Chinese New Year one, they had the Australia Day one.
Yeah, that's right.
A character like that can do it, and I think it's flexible enough that they could just... they could get the voiceover if,
and I think it's great that they just went all out and thought, you know what, stuff it, let's just go.
So if you enjoyed that sort of marketing, then this is what you're in for.
Yeah, you can sort of feel the style of movie, the theme of what it would be like from all the marketing strategy that they've had there, which is, I think it's great. I hugely enjoyed the movie. I mean, I watched it twice, 2 days in a row.
Twice in 2 days as well.
Yeah. And I did enjoy it just the same, as good the second time around.
Well, with all that being said, let's get into the meat of the movie.
Yeah.
So this movie is fairly straightforward.
Yep.
There's very little to spoil. I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
There is very little to spoil.
It's a classic origin story.
Yep.
I guess it's almost a classic superhero movie, even though in the movie he goes to lengths to say that he's not a hero.
Not a hero, yeah.
I think the first thing we need to talk about is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Perfect fit.
This is like the character he was born to play, right?
Perfect fit. Even when we saw him as Hannibal King,
I thought he was okay as Hannibal King, even though the character of Hannibal King, from what I've been told, is nothing like him.
Right.
Or is nothing like what Ryan Reynolds portrayed. I think he's like an old guy.
But when you watch Blade 2, you can definitely sort of have that. You can see
Blade 3, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Blade 3. Is it Blade 3 that was in SNL? Yes, Blade 3. You can sort of tell that he's got that character, like the smart ass.
You know, I kind of get the feeling that Ryan Reynolds has played the same superhero in all of the movies that he's been. All the superhero movies have been in. Green Lantern, Wolverine Origins, Blade 3.
Yeah.
It's the same delivery, it's the same style of jokes.
But it is
he
him.
looks the same.
He's always had that background, right? Even with Two Guys, Girl, and Pizza Place.
Which was later Two Guys and a Girl.
Correct.
They got rid of the pizza place. But yes, he is... This is the role that he was
born to play
good fit for this character.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that Ryan Reynolds, personally, actually in the movie, I found him funny at the start. Mm-hmm. Kind of got a little bit obnoxious in the middle. I thought it was a bit too much Ryan Reynolds.
Right, okay.
And then at the end, he sort of won me over again at the end. So there's a lot of Ryan Reynolds in this movie.
I thought, a
little bit too much.
The thing is, I thought quite similarly the first time I watched it. The second time, it's probably because I knew what to expect, and because of that, I was okay with it. And yeah, I thought it was just a good, smooth sailing all the way through. Yeah, I mean, like, I really liked it, man.
Well, it's an action comedy. And I guess it delivers, right?
It delivers.
For me, did you find this really funny? Like, how funny would you say this movie was?
Well, for me, I found it pretty damn funny. Because I knew it was going to be an over-the-top funny, right? That being said, I did notice that when I was in the cinemas and I was watching this, there were some jokes where I started laughing, and it seems like the whole crowd didn't sort of laugh at it, and it could be to do with an age bracket thing, like when he mentioned, Sinead O'Connor, Ripley, all that sort of stuff, or the Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me, which is the RoboCop thing. I was like cacking up laughing, but everyone was just
that's the. I agree that a lot of the jokes, I think, are going to go over the top of many people.
Right.
Not even those jokes, but even things like with the session that I went. There's a bit in the movie where Deadpool references McAvoy or Stewart. So
that's right. Yeah.
Nobody got that.
Yeah. For me, I was like, what? I couldn't
Yeah.
stop laughing, but yeah, some people didn't.
I got to say that this movie is quite funny, but I actually didn't think it was as funny as it could have been.
Oh, really?
To me, a lot of the jokes just relied on the fact that, I'm insulting you and I'm using these bad words to insult you. There weren't a lot of jokes which are structured as such.
Okay.
Like Star Wars, not New Hope, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I thought was funnier than this.
Ooh.
In as much as they took time to write jokes.
Okay.
Whereas in this one, you could just tell me that they told Ryan Reynolds, I want you to insult this guy, you got 2 minutes to do it.
Right, it's like the execution of the joke is what you're trying to say. The way he present, he sort of displays it all.
This movie relied on that. It also relied on cameos. Cameos and breaking the fourth wall. That was the sort of humor that it relied on.
Yeah. Right.
And that's fine. I mean, this is Deadpool after all.
It is Deadpool. Yep.
But I just wonder whether what percentage of the public is going to get that? Like, I think by now everyone recognizes Stan Lee.
Yep.
And everyone's probably going to laugh or smile when they see him. No one's going to know Rob Liefeld. I shouldn't say no one, but very few people are going to know.
They had to drop off the hand with the coffee cup, right, in the start.
Well, and was he not in the? He was in the bar as well.
I must have missed it. Yeah. To be honest with you.
But those are the sort of things. I hope I'm not imagining it, but those are the sort of things that I think are going to go over the heads of many people.
Okay, that's fair.
So to me, it was funny, but it wasn't. I don't think I really laughed out loud. It's certainly not for prolonged periods of time.
Okay, I did. I had moments where I was laughing out loud.
Okay.
But that's just me.
What about? Well, let's get on to the action then.
Okay, action was really
Like
cool.
action?
Unrealistic, but really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
I did like the character. I like the starting scene with the guns, and he was using 12 bullets.
Count them down.
Yeah. And that was really fun.
The action is good. It's nothing that's groundbreaking. I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
It's not groundbreaking, but it's what I would visualize. Like when I'm reading a comic of action scenes, it's unrealistic, right? To a certain degree, it's unrealistic. Like people doing flips and stuff like that. But it's what I would sort of imagine it to be on the big screen. Does that make sense?
Well, it's what I imagine in a Deadpool movie.
Right.
It is over the top.
It is.
It is. But actually, I like that, which is fine.
I think this is a good way over the top, though. Like, I really enjoyed it.
It's breaking ground in as much as this is more violence in a superhero movie. I went to comic book movie because we've seen some pretty violent comic book movies. So this. It was like they did the thing with slow motion and then he speed it up and then, so it's a very that Zack Snyder-ish sort of directing. Okay. The action was fun.
Very fun.
I think it started off very well with that, the opening montage with the title cards.
Yep. That was really
That was one of the better title cards. That's up there with like Wolverine Origins and maybe Watchmen in terms of the best opening title card sequences.
Actually, at the end of the second viewing for me, I actually thought to myself, how much of this is not actually CG? Because a lot of it actually is. Like, a lot of the action scenes is pretty much CG because the way he flips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how much did he actually act in it?
Because it's a guy in a mask. And
it is a guy in a mask, alright.
What do you think about the way Deadpool looked?
As in Wade? Or do you mean the suit?
The suit.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. And it was quite close.
I think it's really good. Like they were able to animate with him,
right?
Give him some sort of personality.
I mean, I do like the way they animated the eyes, the black parts. Because I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I saw certain images of them filming, and the eyes were actually cut out. So it's all
they would have to be surely,
which is great. I thought it was really good.
Because otherwise, it's a guy with you're paying Ryan Reynolds to not show up, and
But look, I think that the suit looks good. It's like an updated version of what we've seen in the books, right? Or the typical Marvel styling.
Well, he looked better in this movie than in Wolverine Origins. So, the technology...
Wolverine Origins was, let's just not even... Obviously, they have some in-jokes about that as well, right?
Well, I thought he was pretty good in Wolverine Origins. Maybe with Deadpool.
In the start, he was, and then after he got taken away,
he was
it's so
unrecognizable,
massive, I was just
yeah.
like, what is going on? But in the start, I thought it was like, yeah, all right, you got this, and that's when I was like, yeah, he is definitely the perfect fit for a Deadpool character because he was still smart-assy, right? So,
Yeah. Did you like the other characters in this movie?
I didn't like Colossus, only because it almost felt, and apparently the actor, like there were two actors for it, as in like the guy who's like superimposed like the green screen guy, and one of the guys who did the face.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
and the voice. But I found him annoying. But I think it's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like that gentle giant.
Well, he's completely naive,
character,
like
right?
he's
the goody two shoes.
Yeah.
You know, he's very
so he's a good
soft-hearted.
foil for Deadpool, who is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. People are complaining that he looked a little bit,
CGI
a bit rubbery or a little bit fake.
Yeah,
you know,
he looked very.
I think it looked okay. Yeah, see,
to me, he looked very fake.
I don't.
That's why I didn't.
It didn't bother me.
sit right, but it was fun. Like he had his moments, but I gotta say, this is going into like nerd geeky territory. Man, is it me or is Colossus really weak in this? I mean, even when he was fighting that other character,
Gina Carano.
Yeah, like he was just getting his ass.
Well,
whooped.
I don't know how strong he's meant to be. I mean, there's the scenes where Deadpool is trying to pick a fight with him. I thought there was an effective scene to
that was really good
to establish how strong he is. Yeah, with the T-Rex arms.
Yeah, but yeah,
see, and again, like that's something which I think was kind of funny. But then they beat that joke because like then you see him flopping around, and the scene like we get the joke, you know, like, and I guess for some people they would find that.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, and I'm not frowning at that, but maybe it's just for me it wasn't quite the sort of humor I was looking for. I thought there'd be more breaking of the fourth wall.
Oh, they didn't do it too much, right? They've only done it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, a handful of times, I should say.
Like, I imagine this movie is going to be a success that by the sequel, and hopefully there'll be a sequel. I think that
is it really
confirmed.
Is it really going to be a sequel? Because you know how I read in an article like a good month or two ago where Reynolds pretty much said that he wants to get away from the whole superhero type.
Really?
Movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm mistaken, but I read an article somewhere online. Whether it's true or not, or how true it is, that's a different story. But obviously, there is an end credit scene as well.
Well, if this makes a lot of money, I find it hard to believe they're not going to do a sequel.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure that it would be contractual anyway. But I think they would have to be able to cut loose, because if this makes money, it's a comic book movie, but it's R-rated. Well, we had this conversation.
Yeah, we did. It's really, really weird because in the US it's R-rated.
Yeah.
Over here it's what, MA-15?
Someone correct me. I think it's MA. Does Australia even have an R rating anymore? I think it might, but I've never seen an R rating.
It has been a while since I've seen an R rating, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys can comment or something and let us know, that would be good. But yeah,
The point is, this is a movie with violence, cursing,
sex.
There is sex in it. Was there any female nudity in this? I'm just trying to. Yes. Oh yeah, of course there was. Yeah. There was a scene. Oh, you know what else? This movie carried on the proud Marvel tradition of having wrestling moves in it. Did you notice that? You know the villain, he does like a German suplex,
and then flips him around.
And then Deadpool does like a drop kick.
Yeah.
So as a wrestling fan, I appreciate that. What do you think of the villain? We have to talk on the villain.
Which one? Ajax?
Yeah, that was. They name dropped him, didn't they? They called him Ajax.
They called him Ajax in that, yeah, because they cracked a joke about the cleaning part.
Yeah. That's you're right.
Ajax, he's just a villain.
Another Marvel villain.
Yeah, for me, I
pretty one-dimensional, isn't it?
Very one-dimensional. I didn't find him like, oh my god, he's crazy as a villain. I was just like, okay, he's the bad guy.
The thing is, he wrongs our hero.
He does.
Our hero.
He does.
And that is enough motivation. For this for this character of Deadpool, which I guess that establishes the tone of this movie. So
absolutely.
So I guess it is groundbreaking in as much as it's a R-rated, a hard R, superhero movie.
Yep.
And this might pave the way for other more violent movies.
I think so.
You know, I guess ultimately for me, this movie, it was enjoyable.
Yep.
I almost feel it's like, did you like 300? The movie 300?
I liked it for an overall. I don't really need to think. It's just people fighting.
Did you read the book at all?
No.
Okay. Well, to me, that book. I actually have read the book, strangely enough, and I read it before I watched the movie. When I saw the movie, I said to myself, "Well, this is as good as the movie could have been." You know, it was action. It was over the top.
You couldn't do much more with it.
Correct. Yeah. Well, that was just my personal opinion.
Fair.
This movie, in some ways, it disappointed me slightly because I thought it could have been more. Maybe my expectation was just a little bit too high. I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. I like movies that break the fourth wall, like Woody Allen movies, and I feel as though they could have done more with it.
Really?
With this movie. Yeah.
See, for me, I guess
I thought it could have been fun. It didn't make me laugh really out loud. Like I laughed loud in Ant-Man and The Force Awakens. I mean, those are just two recent movies off the top of my head.
See,
this one is just,
For me, I found it really funny. I did really enjoy it. Whether I feel that they could have done more, I don't think they could, only because I would assume that they're targeting the mass market, right? And
are they though? Because it's an R-rated.
Right. So here's what it is, right? The jokes in it, a lot of it is tailored towards pop culture. RoboCop, Aliens.
Well, people in a certain age group, right?
Yeah,
surely.
Right. But at the same time, at the end of the day, with Marvel Studios or any sort of films, they have to try to target, you know what I mean, the mass market.
They do it so well, though. They do it so well.
So
Disney Marvel.
whether I think that they can do more with it, I personally don't think they could have for this origin starting story. But I think in the next one, they need to bring something else to the play.
Well, that's
if they don't,
correct. I fully agree with you.
Then that's when it's like, whoa, like they need to step it up for the next one and bring a little bit more to it. If it's going to be just the same thing where it's like on the basis where the story, and let's be real here, the storyline is basically a revenge storyline. That's it. That's good versus bad. Guy goes get revenge. The end. But it almost feels like it's being held up by its comedic components in the movie. Its violence. Do you get what I'm sort of saying here? The action, all that sort of stuff.
I hope J.J. Abrams is watching this as well, because he can't. He has to take the same same notes for the next Star Wars.
Right. So if in the case where they don't do more than that, it might be like people will turn around and say, "Oh, it's good, but." Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I wonder, because if they just fall back and play it safe and just use the same formula, I think it'll be the same. I think it'll be just as successful.
I think it's a good starting point, but they will have to add more to the next one.
That is my hope as well. So, can you give it a rating out of 10? I feel like I'm really pulling teeth with you when I need to get a rating out of you. You're always so reluctant to give a number.
I'm always reluctant to give a number. I will easily give it an... what did I give Guardians of the Galaxy? Because I gotta say...
I think you gave it like a...
9?
I gotta say, I gave it like a 9. Or maybe 9.5.
I'm so sure I gave it probably a 9. Or maybe I'm wrong. But anyways, Guardians by...
I know you're not saying it's better or worse by numbers, but just give us a number so we can...
Okay. I would give it an 8.5.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Whoa! Okay.
I'm a little bit stingy with it, again, because my expectation was, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's worth your time and money.
I'd say 8.5. But one thing that I did sort of notice, or I can't remember if they interviewed. I forgot. I always forget the actor's name. You know, the friend from the bar with the glasses.
The guy from Transformers 4.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently they interviewed him. I think, and I could be wrong here, but they were sort of saying like the Blu-ray version. They're going to add more things into it, like the director's cut, and it's going to be apparently more violent or gory.
See,
it's going to have more jokes in it, which is practically borderline racist, and
that's
basically what's supposed to be.
When you say it's going to be more jokes, more violence, I wonder whether these jokes are going to be like he's insulting people and he's just using more swear words to insult them.
Could be.
As opposed to actual constructed jokes, where you set up and then you have a punchline.
But isn't that what Deadpool is like? I don't know. I don't really read the Deadpool comics myself.
I was going to ask you that, yes. Because I think I read a few issues of Cable Deadpool.
I know he's right.
But
I think
I'm a novice.
Right, so I'm assuming he's a real smartass, right? I don't think he's got that really strategic type of comedy or jokes in there. I think it's just insults.
Yeah.
Smartass.
And that's the thing, like, if you're in a comic book format and you're playing against these otherwise family-friendly characters, Deadpool can be a bit edgy, and so it's different. It's a different media. So it'll be interesting. I still stand by my rating of 7.5 out of 10.
For sure, 8.5.
Let us know what you guys think. I think by now everyone has had time to see it. Did we get it first in Australia? I think we did we not?
No, you know what?
We didn't?
China actually got it before us.
Well, for all of our Chinese fans, you let us know what you thought of Deadpool. The red color for Chinese New Year, I'm sure made him very popular. Leave us a comment below. Like to our Facebook page. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all the other good stuff. I guess we'll see you all next week.
Come on, man. Yeah! Valentine's Day! See ya!